Hello, my dear student. I am Abhimanyu Bhatt from JNV District Balasar, Odisha. Just I want to discuss about the share forfeiture. It is very important topic for your examinations. Your examination is knocking at your door. So before appearing the examinations or whenever you are doing or practicing certain practice papers or CBSE old question papers, if you remember all these adjustments of share forfeitures, then you can score good marks in your examinations. Let me start. Share forfeiture. What is the meaning of share forfeiture? When the shareholders fail to pay their due amount on time, then the board of directors may cancel their shares after giving them 14 days notice. Dear learner, forfeiture of share means a cancellation of shares. Generally, the full amount of the share, is not collected from the shareholders at a time. Generally, to help the small investors, the company take the amount of shares in installments. Suppose the cost of a share is rupees 10, the company may take this 10 rupees into 2, 3 or 4 installments. So, if the shareholders fail to pay any of the installments, suppose there are 4 installments, one shareholder has paid the first installment and second installment, then what to do? Then the company will request the same shareholders to pay rest of the installments. After getting so many requests from the company, if the response of the shareholders will not be received by the board of directors, definitely the company needs capital. So the shares which were issued to the shareholders, to those shareholders, are to be cancelled by the board of directors. So after cancellations, then these shares must be reissued to other shareholders. But first of all, we should understand that when the arrear, where the due amount of the installments is not received by the company or the board of directors of the company may forfeit or cancel the shares. Dear learner, whenever we issue the shares to the shareholders, generally these journal entries are passed. At the time of application, bank account debited to share application, account debited to share capitals, again share allotment account debited to share capital, then at the time of allotment also bank account debit, call senior account debited to share allotment, like that only it will be there. If there will be call also, then call due and call money received will be there. That means suppose the cost of one share is rupees 10 and one particular person has paid rupees 8, he could not pay rupees 2 per share. That means rupees 2 will be called as calls in arrears. That means in spite of our repeated request to the shareholders, he could not pay. Just I took the example only one share. Generally, nobody purchases one share. They do purchase 10,000 shares, like that only 20,000 shares. So like that only, that will be very big amount. So the shareholder has paid only rupees 8 per share, but he could not pay rupees 2 per share. So rupees 2 will be called as calls in arrear. If we will go for cancellation of this share, same share if we will cancel, then what will happen? Then his 8 rupees will be with the company. That will be the profit of the company, because his money rupees 8 will be with the hands of the company. The company will not refund it. because in spite of our repeated we can call it request, the shareholder did not respond us. So the 8 rupees what he has paid to us or to the company, that will be one type of income of the company, that will be forfeited, cancelled. And after cancellation also, same share can be reissued to any other party or any other shareholders. So at the time of cancellation, then at the time of issue, just I am going to for that issue, at the time of issue we have received 8 rupees and we could not get rupees 2. So we have received 8 means bank account debited 8 rupees because we have received it, and we could not receive 2 rupees, that is call senior account debit 2 rupees, and share capital account will be credited. At the time of issue, share capital account is credited. It should be printed in your mind. So every time at the time of issue, share capital account is credited. At the time of issue, share capital account is credited. But at the time of cancellation, the reverse entry will be passed. Then share capital account must be debited because it will be cancelled. So at the time of forfeiture, then share capital account will be debited to call senior account and to share forfeiture account. Because call senior account was opened there, it is a temporary account. So call senior account will be credited along with the share forfeiture account. Why share forfeiture account is credited here? Because it is one of the capital profit of the company. Because 8 rupees, whatever amount the shareholder had paid, that become our income. That's why it is credited. So dear learner, you should remember these entries. At the time of forfeiture, share capital account must be debited, and whatever amount we could not get, that is called in error, that is credited, and share forfeiture amount, whatever money we received, that is our income. But one formula is there to remember the share forfeiture account. How to forfeit the share? A common journal entry I have developed here. Sometimes some premium will be there. So dear student, you have to remember this common journal entry. Whatever given in red color, red ink, that is the most important one. Share capital account must be debited. As per my previous, we can call it discussion, share capital at the time of forfeiture, share capital account must be debited. But for what amount? Now called up amount. If the company has already called rupees 10, then it will be called as fully called up. If the company has called rupees 7, then we have to write here 7. So whatever the called up amount we have to take here. And security premium account will also be debited if security premium has not been received. Suppose along with the arrear, the security premium is also there. Suppose one particular shareholder did not pay the allotment money in which security premium is also there. That means share allotment money is pending and security premium is also pending. In that case, security premium account will be debited there, because at the time of due we had credited the security premium without receiving the income. That's why the income must be credited, that means debited for cancellations. So share capital account must be debited and security premium account must also be debited. And what should be credited, that I have already told in this particular journal entry, calls in arrear account and share forfeiture account. Calls in arrear means amount not received. In our example 2 rupees we have not received, so that will be calls in arrear. And share forfeiture account, that is our income account, because we forfeited the share, that is a capital profit, so amount received. That means in our example it is 8 rupees. So this particular common journal entry we have to remember, then it will be very easy to solve share forfeiture account or share forfeiture at the time of passing the journal entries. So next one is how to reissue the shares. These shares must be reissued. One particular concept is there. The forfeited share can be reissued by the board of directors. We cannot keep these forfeited shares for long time. The purpose behind it for forfeiture cannot be solved because we need money from the shareholders. due to non-availability of capital, that's why we forfeited their shares. So this forfeited share must be reissued to get capital, because we need capital to expand our business. So the forfeited share can be reissued by the board of directors. The reissue of these shares can be made at discount. Generally, the shares cannot be issued at discount. As per the Indian Companies Act 2013, the shares are not issued, or the shares cannot be issued at discount. But the old shares or the forfeited shares can be reissued at discount. But the limitation of the discount is there. Whatever amount we have received from the shareholders, suppose in my example, above example, 8 rupees the shareholder has paid. So at the time of reissue of that share, we can give 8 rupees discount. Suppose we have received rupees 4 and the area is rupees 6. So we have received 4 means that is forfeited amount. But at the time of reissue, we can give 4 rupees discount. So the reissue of these shares can be made at discount, but the amount of discount should not be more than the amount of forfeiture received at the time of forfeiture of shares. So the reissue discount can never be more than the forfeited amount. Whatever amount we have received, we can give as discount. But from which source we can get more discount? Because as per company's provisions, we cannot issue the shares at discount. So whatever money we have already received, we can leave that one. We can call it. We can get it from the old shares. So after reissue of shares, suppose we have already reissued it. If there is any profit, on forfeiture and reissue, suppose at the time of reissue we did not give any discount, or we gave very less amount of discount. So in that case we can get certain income. Suppose we have already received rupees 8 per share, 2 rupees we could not get it. So at that time, we suppose at the time of reissue we gave rupees 5 as discount. Reissue discount rupees 5. So still 3 rupees we gained. We had received rupees 8 per share, 2 rupees was arrear. At the time of reissue we gave discount of rupees 5. We have already earned rupees 8 per share. Now we leave, we can call it rupees 5 per share. So there is 3 rupees net income. That net income is transferred to the capital ledger because it is a capital profit. So there is a formula I have developed here. So the net result of forfeiture and reissue of share is transferred to the capital ledger. Sometimes the shares are reissued in part. Suppose we forfeited 50 shares but could reissue only 30 shares. In that case also we have to find out the proportionate amount of capital ledger. So by applying the formula also, same formula, we can get it. So capital reserve is nothing, forfeited amount minus loss on reissue. Forfeited amount in our example is rupees 8, loss on reissue it is rupees 5. So still 3 rupees is gain, that is transferred to the capital reserve. If all the shares, forfeited shares were reissued, then straightly we have to deduct the reissue loss from the forfeited amount. If some part reissue of forfeited share is there, many times it is asked in the examinations, part reissue of forfeited share, then we have to apply this formula. What formula? Now forfeited amount divided by number of shares forfeited. Once again, forfeited amount, whatever amount we have received, divided by number of shares forfeited minus loss on reissue of shares. So in that case also we can get the capital ledger. So passing journal entry, it is very easy to remember. For passing the journal entry for capital reserve, because capital reserve is a nature of credit because it is a part of profit. So share forfeiture account debited to capital reserve account we can pass. So my dear learner, it is a very important topic. Your examination is coming. So you just listen the video or read it again and again, and whatever questions we are sending, then we have to solve it. Any doubt you are having, we can consult in our WhatsApp number that you are having. Thank you everyone for joining me or for listening me. Thank you.